Hi, my name is Daniel Dalmolin, and I'm a financial advisor at Global Financial Consultants. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about changes in tax laws coming up from the 1st of July 2024. So these up and coming tax changes will take effect from the 1st of July 2024. You may want to consider some of these changes in order to prepare yourself for any changes or whatever you need to do before the date, or to consider what changes you might make in your investments and tax planning from 1st of July 2024 onwards. Most of these laws are set in stone, but there are some changes that have not been confirmed by Parliament as yet. So let's dive into a little bit more detail. In the case of super, there may be changes to the transfer balance cap. In the beginning of this current financial year, many people were quite surprised by the transfer balance cap changing in super from 1.7 million to 1.9 million. But as we're going forward this year with CPI and inflation a little bit higher than RBA target, don't be surprised that crossing over into the next financial year, there is another adjustment upwards to the transfer balance cap. The other changes coming forward is the stage 3 tax cuts. So as long as the current government sticks to their election promise and we continue with the stage 3 tax cuts without any changes, what will happen is the 37% tax rate will disappear. So people earning between $45,000 and $200,000 a year will effectively pay 30% tax, and those earning over $200,000 a year will pay 45% tax going forward from the 1st of July. For domestic Australian taxpayers, one of the investment choices that have been rebounding in popularity since the start of the discussion around the $3 million cap on super has been investment bonds or insurance bonds sold locally. Because these bonds have an effective tax rate of 30%, it's cheaper to pay into an insurance bond for savings than to pay income tax on any investment income. So what will effectively happen if the stage 3 tax cuts go through is that only people earning over $200,000 a year, where there's a differential between the 30% inside the insurance or investment bond and the 45% income tax on the $200,000, only those people who are earning above $200,000 will find that there is some tax advantage using these investment bonds domestically. Another change is the mandatory superannuation contribution. So from the 1st of July next year, if you're working in Australia or you're working in Singapore or elsewhere on a tax equalisation arrangement with your employer, your superannuation guaranteed payments will go from 11 to 11.5%. And then from 1st of July 2025, it goes from 11.5% to 12%. The other change coming forward is changes to superannuation, in effect making a tax payment on top of any balances that are above $3 million. This tax change would effectively come through on the 1st of July 2025. It would make a tax that anybody with a balance over $3 million would be making a further tax payment of 15%. Please note that this legislation has not passed Parliament and is still under negotiations. The last point I'd like to bring forward is nothing that has been discussed or tabled by Parliament, but it is a case that's in the courts here in Australia at the moment. It regards the capital gains tax on the principal place of residence. So a retired lady who is 86 years old has just argued successfully in the Administrative Appeals Court that her losses on the sale of her house should be a tax deduction. Now, as I said, she's argued that successfully and she's won that case. And I'm sure at the moment the ATO, the Australian Tax Office, will appeal this ruling, and this will be stuck in court for a while. But as you can see, that this case of tax losses on the family house being brought up as a tax deduction is certainly something that is being discussed around and in the courts. So just watch that case, something to be very aware of. And if there's any changes to the situation, I will update you shortly. So that's it for up and coming changes to tax laws for 1st of July 2024 and thereafter. I hope it's been interesting. Not a very interesting topic for some, but I hope it's been interesting for most. And if there's any questions, I'm very happy to help you answer those. My contact details are below. I will come back to you next week with my next episode of my weekly talk. Thanks very much and good luck out there.